leave us our little patch of solitude, really. There's no solitude left in Las Vegas.
These protesters are down on development. Their rally cry, Save Red Rock.
This is News 3 at 5 with Anqunette Moon.
Good evening. Red Rock Canyon and a huge housing project. Many will tell you the two just don't mix. And this morning, a group of Blue Diamond residents set out to spread the word. Kim Capozzo is here with the details. Kim?
Q, they're opposed to the idea of converting an 80-year-old mining operation out near Red Rock into a planned community. And today's rally was all about planting the seed that not all growth is good.
Please sign. This is to save Red Rock.
Absolutely. Oh, they're going to sign. Excellent.
Woo! Thank you so much.
Thank you for your support. Thank you for doing this. So what's with all this signing and thanking? Here's a glimpse. Red Rock Canyon. Beautiful, pristine, endangered?
I just think if we move 6,000 or 8,000 homes in here, it'll be very destructive to the area.
So he and his passengers sign, and then more pleasantries.
Thank you very much.
They're trying to collect as many signatures as possible, and they have a ton of them. But these signatures are a symbol of opposition. It doesn't mean they'll stop development. Right above the rally and just beyond this ridge is where nearly 8,500 homes may be built. A proposal which has given birth to the rally cry, Save Red Rock.
Look at it. Red Rock, it's gorgeous. It shouldn't be commercial. It shouldn't be fast food and 6-lane highways. It's silly.
It's a great area and it should be preserved. The city's got enough city stuff, and this is beautiful.
And the city's not far. They're waving signs here, but signs of development are literally just down the road.
It's got to stop somewhere, and this has to be it right here, because it's a very passionate thing, you know? We love this place. I've lived in Vegas my whole life. I moved out here to Blue Diamond 2 years ago, and I've gotten to enjoy it for that long, and now they want to take it away.
That may be the feeling, but officially nobody's taking away anything. The Planning Commission has delayed making any sort of decision on the project until October 3rd. Q.
Right, thank you, Kim. In fact, the developer John Lang Homes asked the Planning Commission to delay their decision until after the November 5th election. Right now, 2 county commissioners who are running for higher offices oppose the project. Their Mercy Air helicopter went down near Primm when they were on their way to a car accident. 46-year-old pilot Marshall Butler, 30-year-old flight nurse Anna Coburn, and 31-year-old paramedic Kalela Jarbsanthi were all killed in yesterday's crash. Jarbsanthi is the daughter of Clark County Commissioner Mary Kincaid Chauncey. Today, Jarbsanthi's brother and fiance told us about the Kalela they loved.
Try to keep things on an even keel and just do normal things that you do every day to make sure that you can just keep your head above water. And I don't think it's completely sunk in yet for any of us.
She was everything. It was all I wanted in the world. I'm so happy I got to spend the time that I had with her. And we have some very great memories.
Kalea and Kevin had just sent out their wedding invitations. She also leaves behind 8 brothers and sisters. Tonight, the families of all the victims are waiting for details on the investigation. The 8-year-old little girl who survived a drive-by shooting last night is out of the hospital. Now she has to deal with the death of her sister, who was killed in the shooting. It happened in North Las Vegas last night while the girls were playing outside their home on Civic Center Drive. 9-year-old Genesis Estrada was killed by the gunfire. Her younger sister Heidi was treated and released from UMC for a gunshot wound. 4 suspects are in custody, and police are still looking for a green Ford Taurus. They say the shooting is probably gang-related. If you have any more information, please call Secret Witness at the number on your screen. That is 385-5555. Tonight, the Bush administration is bringing out its top guns to make the case that America must take action against Iraq. The administration says new evidence proves Saddam Hussein is trying to build a nuclear weapon, and the U.S. may be his target. Intelligence reports show Hussein is trying to import equipment to enrich uranium, which is used in nuclear weapons. The Bush administration says time is no longer on our side.
He has indeed stepped up his capacity to produce and deliver biological weapons, that he has reconstituted his nuclear program to develop a nuclear weapon.
Doing nothing is no longer an option. It is a real and present danger, and doing nothing is no longer an option.
Administration officials say the president will make his case against Iraq to the American public and the world when he addresses the UN General Assembly this Thursday. 1 year after the worst attacks on U.S. soil, Americans have a new sense of patriotism. We spoke to some Las Vegas Red Cross volunteers who were part of the rescue efforts at Ground Zero. News 3's Ann Lim joins us live now from a Red Cross chapter at Rancho and Gowan. And Ann, volunteers cannot believe it's been a whole year since the attacks.
Q, it's been a year and the memories are still vivid for Red Cross volunteers. Some of them worked 17 to 18 hours a day for 3 weeks straight. One of them got sick when they returned home and had to stay in bed for 3 weeks. They all agreed being at Ground Zero helping people was a true honor. The volunteers fed rescue workers and listened to their stories of searching for their friends and colleagues. One volunteer's job was working directly with the families of the victims. Each of them have experience working on disasters, but nothing prepared them for what they saw in New York. One thing they will always remember are the people who praised and thanked them every day and held up signs to show their appreciation. When the volunteers went to eat at restaurants, the restaurant would not allow them to pay for meals. And you'll hear about some of their experiences in their own words coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live, I'm Ann Lim for News 3.
All right. Thank you, Ann. Anyone who had to deal with victims or their families didn't work for more than 8 hours because of the stories they were hearing and the potential for them to become traumatized. At church services and at countless small memorials, New Yorkers are talking about and reflecting upon the 1-year anniversary of September 11th. Here is a live look at Ground Zero tonight, where a Herculean effort cleared this 16-acre site of shattered lives and mountains of steel. Today, New Yorkers remind us yet again that the most fitting monuments are built from the most precious materials: courage, compassion, and heart. Michael Williams has more now from Ground Zero.
1 year ago, tiny St. Paul's Chapel quaked as the world collapsed across the street.
The noise was bam, 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 bam. The South Tower was collapsing.
The 18th century chapel survived and became an oasis, serving weary, hungry workers.
We saw great evil, but I also saw power of people really caring.
At a Jewish New Year service not far from Ground Zero, bread was tossed into the Hudson River as a symbol of renewal.
That what we need to do is separate ourselves from all that was evil, all that was painful.
At St. Patrick's Cathedral, Cardinal Edward Egan also spoke of evil and the good that rose to confront it.
Everyone was bound together, with no credentials other than humanity. Everyone was an image of God.
And across New York, there are the memorials written in the silence of one's own thoughts. Or Bryant Park, where some 2,800 empty chairs represent the World Trade Center victims. Or at Union Square, where hearts and words are pouring out to create a memorial wall.
You count your blessings and kind of take stock for the things that I'm grateful for and the people in my life.
A city taking stock and sharing strength and perseverance 1 year later. Michael Williams, NBC News, New York.
There is ambivalence about the anniversary as well. Former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani said, quote, "I don't want to relive it, but at the same time, it was maybe the greatest day in the history of our city, the worst and the greatest." As America prepares for Wednesday's memorial, some of the rubble from the World Trade Center is headed to Malaysia, just miles away from an apartment where two of the hijackers met. New Jersey scrapyards bought the metal and then sold it to recyclers around the world. Some of those scraps are being melted down to be rolled into coils of flat steel for cars and pipes. The Twin Towers scrap metal was mixed in with scraps from many other sites. Though the anniversary of September 11th is still a few days away, New York is already paying tribute to the victims of the attack. This morning, at the same time of the attacks last September, a squadron of World War II aircraft from the American Air Power Museum on Long Island flew over Ground Zero. The flyover was intended to honor those who died on 9/11 and salute the thousands of World Trade Center recovery workers. All this week, we'll take you back to New York while America remembers. News 3's Jim Snyder is in New York City tonight, and beginning tomorrow, he'll bring us coverage of the memorials at Ground Zero. And on Wednesday, keep it here on Channel 3 as we dedicate the entire day to local and national coverage of the anniversary. Still to come, a local salon is doing more than just pampering its customers.
Someone who is handicapped or pregnant who can't roll over themselves or can't lay on their stomach can lay down and they can receive a full body massage without ever having to turn.
From the massage beds to shampoo bowls and showers, every inch is handicap accessible. We'll take you there next. And those extra pounds may be doing more than harming your health. They could also be hurting your paycheck. Find out why next on News 3, where news comes first.
It's Apple Wrestling Football time! The most highlights you can find! Join News 3's Mitch Roberts and catch the thrills and chills of local high school football.
Now you guys are getting highlights of every game, aren't you?
Sir, yes, sir! Operation Football is brought to you by Sunrise Children's Hospital, Carl's Jr. and Channel 3.
Every game for you to see!
Friday nights on Channel 3. Operation Football on 3. You're watching Southern Nevada's #1 choice for news. This is News 3 at 5.
We all love getting pampered, a facial, a pedicure, or a massage. So when those luxuries were taken away from a Las Vegas woman, her family decided to give them back. Beth Fisher shows us how they gave their gift of love in tonight's Healthline 3.
This is Nancy. She had a stroke 6 years ago, paralyzing half her body, taking away her speech and confining her to a wheelchair.
The major thing that I noticed when we took Nancy into a place, when I had to move the furniture and get everything to accommodate her, it embarrassed her. And, you know, handicapped or anyone should be able to come to a place and be pampered and receive services just like anyone else. So that's what it's all about.
So Marvin and his kids decided to build their own salon and day spa, one that could easily accommodate handicapped people. From the hydrotherm massage beds that lower to 20 inches.
Someone who is handicapped or pregnant who can't roll over themselves or can't lay on their stomach can lay down and they can receive a full body massage without ever having to turn.
To the shampoo bowls, the shower, the styling stations, the pedicure room. Every inch of this place was expanded to several, making room for wheelchairs.
When my mom first had her stroke, up until, I guess you never really realize how important it is to accommodate your everyday lifestyle, such as doing your hair, doing your makeup, and keeping your dignity.
The staff here dotes on Nancy, and even though business has yet to pick up, the family agrees the investment was worth it.
Oh, chairman of the board, she loves it. Whenever she's able, which we have some down days and she can't come, she loves to come over and be with the girls and the guys and have services done and just talk with the customers. She just loves the place.
Beth Fisher, News 3.
You can reach Centennial Hills Spa and Salon at the number on your screen. It is 839-9669. Or to get to them on the web, just log on to kvbc.com and click on Healthline. Is your weight reflected in your salary? A new study finds it doesn't pay to be overweight. Results show obese workers are, on average, paid less than their thinner counterparts in the same profession. The study in the journal Health Economics says obese men suffered a wage penalty of up to 4.5%, while women were penalized as much as 6.2%. Researchers point out that obese workers making just $1.25 less an hour earn about $100,000 less over a 40-year career. Nothing but sunshine and a few light clouds out today. Here's a live look from our Mandalay Bay camera. What's in store for the work week ahead? Rachel will let you know. She's got the forecast next on News 3, where news comes first. I do believe this is what some people would call Chamber of Commerce weather. A few clouds, a lot of sun, breezy, perfect temperatures. It doesn't get much better than this.
You know what? It's a beautiful day, and I kept one eye on the outside and one eye on Pete Sampras and Andre Agassi. That's why I was like checking the weather, checking the match, checking the weather, checking the match. Let's jump outside and check out the current conditions at this hour. Yeah, things have been steadily clearing, actually. We started out with Lots of clouds over the area, and then they've kind of been clearing from the west to the east, just as we anticipated. We're doing the pan shot courtesy of the Fitzgerald's camera. Current conditions are stacking up like so. Well, right now it looks like we're looking at a blanket of clouds, but I tell you the truth that it's not that dense when you step outside. It's nice. The temperature is 87 degrees. The wind's out of the southwest at 10. The humidity is 17%. The dew point stands at 37. The barometer 29.90 inches of mercury and falling. So 87 degrees at McCarran Airport. But checking out one of our WeatherNet locations, courtesy of the folks at Wells Fargo at Craig and MLK, it's 87 degrees there as well. Winds out of the south at 9. And just so you know, the average high for this time of year is a whopping 96 degrees. We cranked it up to 88, fell back to 71. That's the average low for this time of year. So right, bam, on the money. We were just right on the money. We love that. Doing the temperature track right now. Temperatures right now around the region. 89 degrees out at Nellis. We've got 82 in Centennial Hills, 84 in Spring Valley, 85 degrees in Henderson, and expanding our horizons just a bit. Over the hump and Pahrump, it's 82 degrees there, 66 for our friends up on Mount Charleston, 95 degrees down by the Colorado River in Laughlin, 87 for our friends in Boulder City. Here's the situation. Lots of clouds and moisture marching across our area yesterday, but yeah, over the past 24 hours or so, the clouds have been streaming from the southwest to the northeast continuously, but as I mentioned, they've been thinning on out, and actually they're kind of moving from the west to the east, and that's going to continue to be the rule in the hours. The trough of low pressure is going to slide across the Silver State, and we're going to experience a slow warming trend over the next several days, so that's kind of nice. If you're planning on washing your car, you can plan on doing it this week. 68 degrees right now in Bismarck, 73 in Dallas, 80 degrees in New Orleans. And yeah, the remnants of what was Tropical Storm Faye continue to plague and send showers to the southern portion of Texas and on into Louisiana as well. And as you can see, the showers continue to come down over the Four Corners region in association with that trough. That's the moisture ahead of that trough that's going to slide across our area today. Coming back home, we'll fall back to about 83 degrees in prime time. That's in the next couple of hours or so. 77 degrees by late night, 69 degrees by sunrise, and then partly cloudy conditions tomorrow, high of 90, a light breeze. That'll be the rule. Out at the lake, we're going to fall back to about 74 degrees and top out around 97. Winds out of the south at 15. And then up on Mount Charleston, we're going to fall back to about 47 and top out at 70. So it should be nice over the next several days. Here's what you can expect weather-wise. The warming trend Monday, 90, Tuesday, 91, Wednesday, 94, Thursday, Friday, the sunshine really kicks on in 96, 96. So we love that, the gradual warming trend. I think we're out of the showers for a bit. That'll be nice, although I did like the showers when they were here.
Yeah, and they'll be back someday.
They absolutely will.
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome.
Up next in sports, Rick Strasser will bring us the long-awaited open to the NFL regular season. Plus, old rivals reunite in the finals of the U.S. Open. Highlights are coming up next in Sports on News 3, where news comes first.
Welcome back. It's everything a rivalry should be. Long-running, intensive, highly anticipated. Las Vegas Andre Agassi and Pete Sampras met today for the 34th time. Sampras holds a 19-14 edge over the years. In the most important meetings, Sampras has won 3 of 4 head-to-head Grand Slam finals, and Andre was looking for his first win against Pistol Pete at the U.S. Open. Finals of the Open in front of a packed house in New York. Great tennis once again between these two warriors. First set, Andre on that proverbial horse to track down that forehand. Pete at the net. Andre passes him, but just goes wide. Sampras wins the first set at 3. Second set, Andre tracking down shots again. The lob. Pete winds up, lets it loose. Andre again, but Sampras put the wicked angle on the winner. He won the second at 4, up 2 sets. Back comes Agassi in the third at 6-5. This is his only service break of Sampras in the entire match. Andre wins the third 7-5. After a big break of Sampras at 4-all, Sampras fires his 33rd ace of the match for 3 match points. He only needed 2. Sampras at the net, coming in again, and he will hit the volley winner for the championship. After more than 2 years, Sampras wins a tournament, his 14th Grand Slam final. It's a new season with a new team and all new divisions in the NFL. The AFC and NFC now have North, South, East, and West divisions. There was a great matchup in Week 1 with a couple preseason favorites, the Eagles and the Titans. Tennessee in the new AFC South. Titans leading 7-0 in the first. Donovan McNabb will throw a laser to James Thrash for the score, 18 yards. Tied up. Philly had an 11-point lead in the fourth. Steve McNair, the quick strike to Justin McCarrions. 2 points, no good, 24-19. A little more than 3 minutes to play. Eddie George puts Tennessee up for good. On the sweep, gets popped at the goal line, but he holds on. Titans hold on off the Eagles, 27-24. The Steve Spurrier era is underway in Washington. The Fun and Gun faced the Arizona Cardinals. Second quarter, Shane Matthews deep to Kevin Lockett for the 26-yard score. We're tied at 10. Later in the third, Matthews again, this one deep in double coverage, but right on the money to Rod Gardner for a 43-yard zoner. Washington wins Spurrier's debut 31-23. Another new era in the NFL. Drew Bledsoe made his Buffalo debut as the Bills hosted the Jets. Final minute, fourth quarter. Bills down 7. Bledsoe the strike to Eric Moulds for the equalizer, and we've got overtime. Chad Morton was the story of the game. Earlier, he had a 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Well, in the opening kickoff return of overtime, he does it again. He's the only player in NFL history to have a kickoff touchdown return in regulation and overtime. The Jets win the game 37-31. Might surprise you that UNLV is undefeated against 36 different schools. And now you can make that 37. The Rebels beat Kansas last night in their first ever meeting. 31-20 was the final. UNLV did it with a big offensive night. 435 total yards. That's 140 more than the Jayhawks. Rebels had just under 300 on the ground, and they did it in chunks. Joe Harrow had a 100-plus night and averaged 7.5 per carry. We'll have more on that coming up at 6 o'clock. Okay?
Obviously much more efficient. At times I thought almost too patient. We got to get the ball thrown down the field. We got to get the ball thrown to our wide receivers.
Every time I ran the ball, I had big hogs in front of me trying to, go cut somebody or take somebody high and pound them. I mean, I think it was my first touchdown or my second. Steve made a great block. He freed me up. And that do-it-yourself, that don't work in football.
All right, finally we got a little pigskin action. The Angels looking for their 10th consecutive win. A couple of home runs in the 6th inning against the Orioles get it done. They only trail the A's now by 1.5 games in the West. We'll have more on the NFL coming up at 6 o'clock.
All right, looking forward to seeing the highlights.
That's right.
Thank you, Rick.
You got it.
We'll be right back. Well, we have a lot more news coming up for you at 6 o'clock. Until then, thank you so much for joining us for News 3 at 5, and we'll see you back here in about 30 minutes.